All right. Good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, an active Monday morning, if you will. It is April 4th. Uh, let's go right into TradeGATEHub. Sign in. And listen, like I say, Monday morning is the most important amount of data that I put out. I used to say data when I was younger. Now I say data. I don't know why that changed, but I don't know. So good morning. So like I said, I tried to make this, as we have a replay of the coach, I tried to make this a consistent dynamic process. So when it comes time to 9:30 or, whatever is the best at your trading time, it crude breaks low and a lot of things are breaking high. NASDAQ looks good. Okay. So I tried to do that because I found it easier over the years. Good morning, coach, and thank you for your time too. Great video at 9:30. And you should, by the way, seriously, look at Coach's lineup where he has this week. I mean, the guests, maybe the market's doing a little bit of better and people are making better calls, but regardless, the guests that Coach is bringing into to TradeGATEHub and forward are just, I mean, they make me better. Not to be dramatic, you know what I mean. I have to be a little bit sharper. Not to say in terms of followers, but they're seasoned. You know what I mean. They're people worth listening to. So let's go forward. So the most amount of data that I put in, just like if you were to practice or anything at any type of sport or routine, I consider that very important. It's almost cathartic, if you will, to go through your process and because you can focus, but it doesn't really take too much focus because at that point it should be a routine. So when it comes to game time, you kind of I see you're ready. Okay, so you're welcome, Coach. No, thank you. Seriously, look at Coach's list this week, TradeGATEHub. We'll go back to our past videos and listen to last week's video. Great video. Okay, why are we up today? And I'm going to get to that in a second. So here's our macro view. By the way, a couple of deals this Monday morning helped. If I can go forward, Elon Musk saying he's going to take a 9% Twitter helped. Sorry, Mom. And also, there was a chip deal in the chip. So you know what? There's been a couple of merger Mondays in the past couple of weeks that's helped things. And certainly Microsoft and Apple above all these moving averages has held well. To give a macro view, and here's also the macro market picture right here. So please go over it. It's the same thing that I put out every Monday and Wednesday. So it's very important. Listen, as I said before, especially coming to a Monday morning, you know what, listen to the videos that I put out. I'm not biased. I'm not alone. They have 2 million views each for a reason. And it does, not to say that you talk to it. Yeah, I talk to it. Oh, appreciate that, coach. It is a trade gate. It is a fund. It is a position for the fund. And we got paid. And you know what? It's because of three things. It's because of good price action. It had huge option action. And you know what? I want to jump ahead here. Let me share my screen. And I said this last week, Gerard, if you're there, Mo, you know it, right? This is one of the most, if I was stranded on the proverbial desert island or whatever be dramatic, whatever that situation would come, however that decision would come to be, if I had 3 Twitter feeds, you know what, I would even go as far as 1, but I wouldn't make something that, that out there. This would be one of the 3, definitely one of the 2. And it's the Jesus feed. And look who follows him too. Don't be, if you're an atheist, I apologize. Or if you're an atheist, I will apologize. If you're Catholic, Ressi knows. Look who follows him. Sunrise Trader, Option Mike, Sheep of Wall Street, Hedge Mind, all the sharp guys. Larry, Coach had him on last week. Look at Larry. Guys got, by the way, I started following Larry again for some time. We used to have a private feed. I digress. Dan, Trader Stewie. Trader Stewie's got 300,000. By the way, he quotes Jesus all the time. IPO Dave and our friend Doug Bush, a TradeView friend. So that's who follows him as well. And always when I grew up, birds of a feather flock together. So let's even go back to his media guy, getting back to your question, Coach, of why I follow Twitter. And it came back to a macro view of why really what it gets me down into my stock selection. It had great price action, it had volume, and it had range. So I can even go back to this, by the way, I have his private feed. It's like $150 a month or something. You know what I mean? Let's go to April 1. I just want to put this out for an example. And this guy's a stand-up dude, man. He doesn't delete stuff. Trust me, he's my number one guy, and he should be. If you're ever going to cheat on me with this dude. or have, or, use him as a lover. Just stay with me. I'm more loyal probably anyway. So Snap, uh, listen, I don't have to really go over it that much. Take me on my word for it. He went into Twitter pretty hard. And you all guys, everybody here knows it in the room. So let me get back to TradeGATEHub. Yeah, that's true, coach. All right, so let me go back to Twitter before I get back to uh, the rest of the routine. So I'm zigging and I'm zagging, like my dad would say, but we'll make our point known. Twitter, okay. So now, this was the chart leading into this big day. So Twitter, first of all, what I've been paying more attention to is I've been really putting a lot more into charting. And it's only because I believe that the algo is a little bit leveraged towards whole numbers, the option players, pivot points, if you will. Obviously, things get overdone, sentiment gets overdone. As more empirical as you go, I think that it's more, I like to put more emphasis on it, if you will. So here's the chart on Twitter. To no surprise here, it started with the volume over the 8-day, the 20-day, and the 50-day with volume. And by the way, it never came, it never pulled back. It pulls back on low volume. So you know what? This was the break. I started, taking a position, and I think around 35. I'm a big believer in option prices of the bigger, the thicker the stock, if you will, more volume it has, the more I'm a believer, especially this day and age with the gamma squeezes and everything, especially predicated towards a Friday or even sooner the end of the month. I like something towards the whole numbers. Maybe it's it's an old style, if you will. It's something I do believe in. I haven't been proved wrong dramatically yet, but so I started taking a position of 35. Once it settled and hung around the 40, I liked it. So you know what I mean? This is one of the things where I always say one of the greatest compliments, I wouldn't short it. Not that that would be an option, but I also look at that on the other side of a trade to some things. That's one of my criteria. You know what I mean? If it's getting out of hand or something's running there, would I buy it? Sometimes if I say absolutely not, then I'll look for some sort of capitulation, maybe a double top turnover or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Certainly not a bread and butter or 5-star trade, but I'm an active trader. So there was Twitter. So that's why it worked. Elon took an interest in it. By the way, Snap, which was the one that acted a lot better. I thought this would be a lot bit, having a lot better pin action, as one of my mentors used to stay up $1.30. Here, Snap today. I thought it would be, they took profits at Snap at 39.30. That's a good pullback, 39 to 30 to 30, 37.30. It's a $2 pullback on Snap when it actually probably even went negative at some time. And Pins, same thing. Oh, Pins actually, Pins was unchanged at one point. That snuck in there. Oh, no, it didn't. Pins. So, let's look at the pin action. There's Pins. Overall, the moving Pins right now is making a similar move to what Twitter did. No? Doesn't that look like the Twitter chart maybe a week ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago? This was right, cut it off right here. That was Twitter. Yeah, it's right over that curling 50-day. All right, so we'll see what happens there. I like it to hold up more. Certainly, I'm not a big believer in pin interest, but there's Pins. Let me get back to TradeGATEHub so I can get back on routine and not be hypocritical. Okay. Now I'm going to start doing a video. Sorry, TGH live stream. We'll talk about that on there before the market opens. It seems to me we have an earlier audience. By 11:13 Eastern, after the market's been open or whatever, and it's an hour and change. I go over what happened and why. But the real thing is to know, I think, and I'm open to suggestions, is what I'm going to do going forward. I guess those were the videos are for, or the YouTube channels, to go back and build a track record a few weeks. So I'm going to start doing one in the morning and developing a plan. And this is my plan. I have it here. So I don't know why it would be any different. Can you see that? No, I don't know. But trust me, it's a notebook with a lot of notes. But what I wanted to say is the reason why that, let me finish with the routine, because then I'm going to get that back to my notes. So maybe I'm a little bit excited. I'm hyped up. Okay, let's go over the videos. Okay, PLX, there's short-term sentiment. We're up. The futures are breaking high. So it's a Monday afternoon. We're a little bit on the overbought side, but definitely rotation is, you have stocks like JMIA up 20%. It's yet to be determined if it's still a short squeeze or there was legitimate buying. And right now, what I'm seeing in the option market is I'm only seeing short-term options being going weeklies. You know what I mean? I want to see some, as another one of my mentors says, bazookas going off out 6 months or a year. You know what I mean? Saying, I don't care any type of short-term fluctuation. 6 months from now, not only is the market going to be higher, but so is my stock. So the option market right now is a little bit suspect. Fear and greed, hedge fund people are short. There's the option sentiment. Gold's in the middle. I sold the gold today. Crude's in the middle. All right. So it's stock picking. So right now you have gold and you have crude in the middle of the sentiment. And you have right now stocks, short-term sentiment there. So you know what I mean? Play the rotation. Don't get cute. I mean, now is a perfect time to use a scanner to have any type of stocks that when the futures go up 10 handles and they're moving that way, what stock goes down the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes on some volume. That's the good type of stock picking you can get right now, or else you're going to start chasing things and you're going to get kind of stuck right now because a lot of the stocks, as of 11:15, it looks like they already made a lot of decent moves. Any type of short covering or rotation or replacement is probably happening as we speak now. So, and I'm up for debate right now. That's not a scientific thing. Treasury, same thing, right in the middle. Sentiment, okay. Goldman, they got smart. And this was before today. They dipped themselves in a little bit. All right. They put their toe in. Drawdown risk levels. All right. So we want to get a little bit too giddy. There's a chance of pulling back a little bit. Obviously, Lewis, as you know, if you correlate these drawdown levels to a chart of the S&P, when there's a little bit of drawdown risk, meaning the market's going to draw down lower, that's when you want to buy. Now it's getting a little frothy to a degree, but the rotation on the positive side is still prevalent. Sector rotation. Helene's charts, please go over your own time. It's only, just go over your own time. She's just the best of one of the best at what she does. She's the best at what she does by a pencil and a freaking Sharpie, that's for sure. Listen, bullish. Insiders ticked up a little bit. Actually, Helene said they ticked, so insiders are stepping in. That will may lead this rally to have some edification of if it's either short covering or there's really some real substance there. The reason why I think we're up today, or I don't think many would argue this Monday morning right now, is that there was really no bad news in a geopolitical news over the weekend, or as bad news as a war could be. We're all going as day by day here, as you know. As I said at the beginning, there were a couple of deals. Elon Musk took a stake in Twitter. I mean, that's good for all the hoodies, or if they're still around. And then we also had a deal in the chip sector. It was $2 billion, but it's a reason to believe. So that's the reason why we're hanging here. And by the way, going into Monday morning again, these are the IBD tech leaders. Write them down. These are the leaders. I always say best of breeds. Some of them are expensive, but then you go to something like a bar chart, or you look for some ancillary stocks, these tertiary, the smaller ones that go through them. Earnings for the week. Do we have anything big? Tilray. All right. Levi, not sexy, although that does rip. I might get in that just because of, I don't know. SGH, I have my eye on. What else? Nothing really that big. So earnings, not. And by the way, there's nothing for earnings this week that is going to, no best of breeds, if you will, is going to determine much on your stocks. If you do have one, like they said, these second level stocks. So the biggest one I have in here is Tilray. Not interested. AYI, not interested. Levi. All right. So if it brings Gap stores up or down 2%, CAG, I have an interest in. That's probably the one, Conagra, that could move an entire sector. As a matter of fact, before today, I was looking at this KHC. I got my eye on this KHC. This is what I'm looking at. If I can go to my screen here in KHC. And here's the chart on Conagra. Conagra made a huge move recently. I was looking at that chart. So this is the move on Conagra into earnings. And by the way, it's not the sexiest of things, but it's a macro situation. Please look at it at your own time. I got to get on to others. Seriously, it is. And I'm not just saying that from a boomer. I'm not even a boomer. I'm an Xer. Okay. Why are we up a little bit? Equity traders sold relentlessly. They're selling into the rally. 5 consecutive weeks are selling. Okay. So the rookies are out. Isn't that what you want? Right? And I'm not biased. I have positions on both sides. Everybody knows that. I run a fund, or the big, a boutique fund. All right. So no big deal. But you know what? Goldman might have done the same thing. So they dipped their toe in. All right. So you know what? When you have stocks like Apple, by the way, well above moving averages, had a 2-day rest, and thank you. Microsoft, coach, come on, coach. You know what I mean? I would have to say it would take something. extraordinary right now for that to turn the other way. All right, so big deal. AMD pulls back a little bit. All right, so MU's not acting that well, but NVDA is. Or let's look at Google, the bigger ones. So you know what? Like how we were saying at the end of last year, the beginning of this year, the bigger tech stocks were holding everything up before the rest of the market came in. As you can see, that was right. These stocks were holding up, and once they started to pull back, I said, then that was a little, maybe they're holding up till these secondary ones come in. You know what I mean? Stocks like TTD are coming back, or stock. What other ones? I mean, I can go to my screen here, but I'm trying not to get distracted. Apps or apps. Where's apps? Come on, baby. Next, can't wait. And Asan. No, Asan's not doing anything. By the way, here's my main page. As long as I'm going there. Square, we're in it. Square. That's yet to be determined. I would have to say these are higher lows, right, Coach? So I would say that has to look good. PayPal, which was always the worst to breed. We're in some Square still. You know what I mean? It's not sexy. You're gonna have to put that away. You know what I mean? It's not a mover anymore. It's gonna need an event. Roblox, you put it low in. How about RBLX? Nobody wanted it. How's that look now? That look. Once that goes over the 50-day, if it does, then it's going to pull a Twitter. It's got a gap, and that maybe not be the best example. Plug, good call. No, plug. Blue skies ahead. Yes, it does maybe pull back to the 200. BE, another position, right? Where are you, Mo? We took a little bit of profits today on BE. It's going higher. What about what other one do? Oh, YOU. Now with you, this security stock, by the way, I wouldn't short it. It's a breakout. It also goes with cybersecurity. CRWB, best of breed. That needs a day arrested too. But with you, that did the opposite of with Path. You's getting downgraded left and right, and it's going up. Remember when we were in this Path trade, or whoever remembers? I do. When everybody was upgrading and upgrades, and the stock was going down. I said, this is a problem because it's going to have to take a lot for this stock to go by. ClearPass, Clear Secure, cut by Goldman Sachs, cut by Telsey to 33. But that's CRD. No, it's YOU, and YOU is 28. So the stock is getting cut as it's going upwards. And so what happens if they start reversing and saying we're raising our price targets? There was some insider buying. It needs a little bit of rest. There are sexier trades. I'm in it, but whatever. AEM, I sold this morning. I thought it was going to break out. I loved it. I still like AEM a little bit. AEM, the gold stock, broke out a little bit. You go to the weekly. Maybe gold needs a little bit of rest. There's AEM right here. Yet it came with volume. Like Coach always says, it can make widgets. I like it, no matter what it is. BLI, you suck. Sorry. NTNX, Twitter. Okay. Let me look my CRWD. Look at S. S a breakout now. Well, not really. Needs more. JD, BABA, SC is the one. And why was SC the one? Because it's not even a Chinese stock. Now SC is breaking out. We have it. I don't have enough, but I got it. UAL going lower. Las Vegas Sands looks better. Penn National Gaming, not bad. DraftKings, stock like DraftKings. Be careful if you short it. A stock like this, JMIA, I said it this morning. What's this thing doing? JMIA. It's up 28% on 13 million as opposed to 4 million. So JMIA up has 3 times its volume, and it had huge volume this morning right at 10 o'clock. So like I said, even if you're a mathematical trader, JMIA, huge range, probably at 2 times volume on a breakout above all moving averages. That's all you needed. Really, you did. And that's not my type of real trade anymore. But that is a lot of people's trades above the opening range breakout. Does it have news? Let's get down to it right now. JMIA. Well, that option. JMIA announced a partnership with UPS. That's it. All right. All right. BLI, you're going the wrong way. WWR, ACAD. What's another one of the Spice? Even these ones like Spice now. You know what I mean? These are above the 820 to 121 day and 50 day. So those haven't been by them enough time. So there's underneath resistance right now, in my opinion. CAR, I'm in this one, only 200 shares, but I'm in it. I'm in CAR. I've said it all along. No? Anyone here? Lewis, please give me the heads up on CAR. All right, Valero, UAL, Zillow. All right, let's go back to the routine first of all. Pat might be in the back hour. We know what we're doing. Okay. Okay, our power scan. Key date. Okay, okay, that was key date on macro charts. The rookies are out. Upgrades and downgrades. Week ahead for economic calendars. Write them down. They move markets these days. Power scan. QQQ. Like I said, we had Larry on Twitter. Starbucks. What else did I like? Where's SOL? G. I hope SOL is not up too much. SOL. SOL not bad. All right, Lewis, give me some questions. SPWR. Roku, that was a mover. Netflix. Here's my main page. Okay, let's go to the wise guy page now. Billy, looking good. Carvana. Lebu, still going. That Lebu, Lewis. Here's Lebu. Any questions? Because then I'm going to go back to my query so you guys can do some homework. Lebu above the moving averages. Curling up. Unbelievable. NTNX, somebody gave me that this morning. I didn't listen. It goes with all those EV cars. NTNX, I guess. Somebody gave it to me. 2840. Still has room. Lebu breaking higher. PDD. Look at that one. PDD. I don't know. It's all about the close. TTD, Facebook, Twitter. Lewis, questions? Nerve. Come on, baby. BLI. Spice breaking high. Okay, let's go back to the main page. No one? Okay, let's go to this page. This is all that really matters outside of my opinions. What do you mean chance? Of course there's a chance. Chance for what, Lewis? The stock is yeah, there's a big chance. I would add to it. The big chance. I think I would go in XBI. It's a little bit more expensive. But let me share my screen again. Yeah, label. I would add to it. Absolutely. Why not? Probably goes to 20, right? I see what I preach, what I mean about options. It's a triple levered ETF. Maybe they run it to 20. All right, but here's what really matters. Good question, though, Lewis, as usual. Okay, top list. What's breaking high? What's breaking low with volume and range? Right here. Large range with 2%. Large range with 2% change. Love it. What is it? Oracle. Zillow. Zillow. No, I get it. Win. I do get it. Let's look at win. Nope. And why do I? Well, like I said, I want to go back and forth. What I say, no, what I see. Win. Let me share. Win, no. There it is. I'd rather be late. Zillow, like I said, no was on the list. Rather be late. Zoom. There you go. Looking okay. I don't know. A lot of these, I don't know what to do. Plug. Gave it to you early. Look at plug. Nothing underneath it. EMPH. Gerard or Mo. Best of breed. EMPH, right? There it is. Our BE. Beautiful. BE. Love it. Williams Sonoma. Roblox. Caesars. Caesars on the list. Not for me. Match. Bed Bath and Beyond. Run is on the list. Run. Could go to 35. Could go to the 200 day, depending what the market does. Run. Where am I on the shares? This is what I'm looking at now, guys, or ladies and gentlemen. What has the volume? Who cares? Okay, JMIA, there's the example. 400,000, 4,000%, pardon, 12 million, 300% range. I'm interested. BRCC, FUTU. Didn't I show you that on the Jesus feed? Had options, FUTU, plug. Okay, Ali had the upgrade. Go to TGH. You brought it to you before. All right, Mike V. You're on it now. Tesla, what's at the high? Etsy, Netflix, Oracle, APP. Could have been someone. I wanted to buy that when everybody had fear. Look, I don't like it though. Coop. Oh, Octa. That tells you that they're bringing up the dogs now. I'll show you Octa. That had fundamental news. Octa. 5 days ago, 135, now 160. How you doing? Right there, Octa. So when they're taking up the dogs now, or they're squeezing it, whatever it is. Share screen. Lewis, okay, now what's on the low? You know what's on the low? This is what the frustrating part of the game is. When you have some of these high flyers that you don't know what, like, you know, futures are up nicely, and you have a stock like FRGE, and you're trying to get out of this high flyer, and your mom or your wife asks you, how did you do today? The mark was up huge and you long every stock, but the one loser you had was from 47 to 25, breaking low without it. So you're like, you know, what are you supposed to do? FRGE. They couldn't get enough at 2 days ago at 45. It's $20 lower. I'm doing volume. So sometimes you never know. When it's bullish, it could be bearish. Okay. LABD breaking low, Lewis. Decent volume. What's breaking low? GSL. This is on the low of the day. DWAC. Donnie's SPAC. Donnie's in trouble. Donald Trump's Twitter feed. New Twitter feed breaking low. Nugget. So they took some profits in gold. Finally. Newmont. All right. So Newmont, after having going from, let me share. Hold on. So Newmont, after going from 75 to 83, all of a sudden it's down $1.11. Everybody think it's a one-day reversal. It could be though. Coach called it last time on Newmont, or he called it on FCX. Coach, opinion? Newmont? Oh, probably goes to 80, right? Let's go to the weekly. And I've been going to weeklies lately on bullish stocks. I don't know. I'll leave that to the professional. It's made its move. AEM, I sold it. I wanted. Yeah, you too, Coach. Of course. Kidding me? It's the best talk of the week. Besides my psychologist. Okay. I'm being facetious. And I'm insensitive to anybody that does have one. I get it. Okay, OIH. So look at this. This is the break low page right here. These are the reverse. So it tells me LABD means LABU is breaking low. They like biotechs, triple ETF. SQQQ breaking low. That means the TQQ lows are breaking higher. Nugget. So they're selling golds. That's all they're doing. Golds. And Allstate and Travelers are taking some profits. Big deal. What's at the high? ARVN. Oh, that's a sexy one with volume. Interesting. What's got the volume? PLX. Gave it to you on TradeGATEHub, and I'm not in it. And this got a lot underneath it. PLX, what do I look at? I'm not in it, but I did post it this morning. And it did have the typical opening range breakout. There's the opening range breakout, PLX. It did the dip and rip, got everybody out that want to take profits. It held the open price on PLX, hold the open, 166, got the 2. And by the way, I'm going to look more into this, but it's got 100 million breaking out on everything. Yeah, taking profits. That's because you're smart, Coach. So this is this PLX. What are we going to do here? Phase 3 trial. I normally don't like taking phase 3 end trials. If anybody's a bio guy, please tell me. If this was phase 2, I like, but phase 3, you on here, Flag? I have a biotechnology genius on here. He's a biochemist, by the way. And he appeases us, right? He appeases us by being on our feed. If you're on, Flag, what do you think about this PLX? I know you're on that, kid. PLX. That's got to be on the PLX. I write it on my book. It's okay. PLX, you don't have to write on the book, because if you have this, and if I go overboard, I don't care. This is a TradeGATEHub situation. You can look at this, stocks. We'll go to top US gainers. The percentage change. And there's, hold on. What is wrong with this? Am I on the right page? Because I have to be, because by the way, this whole, that whole sexy page, I call it, I'm going to change the name to that because it's a little effeminate. But here's our TradeGATEHub page, and all you have to do is go to stocks. All I have to do, or I do, is I go to stocks. I'm not splitting the atom here. Top US gainers. PLX has been there all day. I'm not giving you anything. So has been LOL. So is JMIA. So WVE, look, this thing's popping. Nova, oh, WVE, I don't know. So I'll make one of my final points, if you will, just to let everybody know what we can, what we offer. I'm serious too. We're proud of it. I'm not wasting my time. Is this top chart? They'll even go to the top US losers. Come on, guy. We're probably getting crowded with entries as we speak. Let's go to top stocks. Top US losers. You know what? Maybe there aren't a lot. You know what? There's none for the criteria. I agree. By the way, there's all our commodities. Great job. Commodities list. You want to know where the indices are? Go to TradeGATEHub. Here are indices right here. This is beautiful. Top news. You want to know about news across the board? Stocks, 5 minutes ago, 8 minutes ago. Global headlines, boom. Crypto, boom. Forex, all updated. Market movers. Unbelievable. Good job, guys. Indices. Commodities. Percentage. So gold's taking a hit today, huh? Or at least not that. Percentage-wise, maybe. Housing. I got it. Crude oil. Exactly. All right. Go to Wall Street Jesus. Go to the thing. So that was our share. Let's go to the alert list and we'll wrap it up here if I have any other questions. Share. Do share. There's our alert list. What's moving? So plug is the one. Oh my God, there's plug. BE. Plug is really a mover today, guys. It's up 12%. It's going higher. PLX right there. SGLI, JMIA on the high. This is the list right here. Whenever you go back to the videos, biggest gainers with large range. That's all you really need. There's the volume. Take a picture here or pause it. This is it. Biggest gainers with large range. That's it. Twitter, JMIA, SPWRG. You're welcome. Billy, I gave you options before. FUTU, same thing. Plug. ARRY, that's some catching up to do. XPEV, Ollie, Run, they're all there. And they're right here. I'll leave it off with that. All those stocks that you see here are Path, Plug, Run right under Plug because they're all solars. HPEV, XPEV right there with Lucid. We're in that. Long Island still going. MP, they took a little profits. This is incredible. Market's going nicely. All right. So there's the list. It's also my universe. So we try to give you the best we can in terms of whatever style you have. Like I said, I'm going to correct everybody. I'm correct myself more on giving better targets because sometimes I could be in something with heavy size and be in it for a half a day or be in a swing trade. So I'm going to be more transparent or just not that I'm transparent. You can see anything you want, just maybe articulate a bit better. So I'll go back to TradeGATEHub before I sign out. And any of the final questions? NEM, you're right, Coach. Thank you for your time. Not to placate. I'm going to take some profits doing. All right, so we'll leave it there, everyone. Thanks for sharing. I want everybody to listen. Please, the more everybody contributes a little bit later, going on, later in the day, the more helpful. 4 eyes are better than 8. I don't want to be, just throw some ideas out there. I think try Boeing and EL. I don't like either of them, Lewis. They're better. I think you can get more bang for your buck with better stocks than that. If you like Boeing and and Estee Lauder, you know what I mean? Buy the transports. You know what I mean? Buy the transports, or even buy the Dow, if you will. Boeing's going to go up at this point. They're all going to go up. So, good questions though. They are best of breeds. All right. So JMIA breaking higher. Is that so? All right. So go to our list. We'll leave everybody there. Have a good day. Please share. Have a plan and trade well. Cheers.